Say It Louder is brought to you by Bally Live, the ultimate destination for live sports, anytime, anywhere. Watch the action unfold and win rewards along the way. Download the free Bally Live app and start winning today.
Say It Louder, right here on The Rally. It's Russell Dorsey. I'm Joshua Perry. It's time to talk a little Shohei Ohtani. He's expected to have surgery this offseason, may or may not be Tommy John, but his injury history has some people feeling concerned, myself included, about his future on the mound. But his agent says that he's going to remain a two-way player. How long is pitching in this man's future?
I think that remains to be seen. That depends a lot about the health. But it makes no sense to say right now, I'm not going to pitch anymore.
I agree.
Why would you do that? Going into free agency, regardless of what surgery he needs, whether it's Tommy John, whether they put a brace in there, this is a guy who is still, regardless of the health of his elbow, the best hitter on the market this offseason. He would be a $300+ million player if he just swung the bat. And for him, I think you go to it and say, all right, it's going to take me between 12 and 16 months to get myself healthy enough to pitch again. And then you have to prove that you can stay healthy. Once you do that, you're going to be, I believe he's still going to get a total of $550 million. It just won't be in one deal like we thought before, where it's like, all right, here's 10 for 600, or here's 8 for 550, or whatever the numbers may be. I think he might have to just break it up long-term or short-term, long-term, right? Where you go maybe a 2-year deal at $50 million a pop, or whatever the numbers end up being. And then once you prove that you're healthy, or maybe have an opt-out in a deal where you prove that you're healthy, you can jump back into the marketplace as a 32-year-old, still be a two-way player. But I still think there could be a lot of teams. My expectation is that there's still going to be teams that say, you know what? We have one opportunity to do this. There's one Shohei Ohtani, and because we know it's going to be a process for him to get back to being a two-way player, we'll invest in the rehab and the recovery while he's also still hitting 40 homers for us, hitting third in our lineup, and maybe even still give him that long-term deal that he wants.
Yeah, I struggle with it, though, because if I'm an organization, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about all the things you said. I think you brought up all valid points, but the idea is, even if he is pitching again, which the expectation is for a lot of us, is he going to be the same pitcher? Because if I'm paying for two people, I need the two people that I want on my roster. And I know people have thrown out the idea of incentive-based contracts or putting in stipulations for him to reach certain numbers. You don't believe that's something that would happen in the marketplace. Somebody's going to take a flyer. I think a lot of people start to think of this idea of, if I'm the guy who gives Shohei Ohtani a boatload of money, and then he's never the same pitcher again, that's on my resume forever, right? And that's a hard spot to be in. So I think this is a legitimate question. And I think teams are probably going to do their due diligence. Somebody might get stupid in this situation and say, you know what, I don't even care what happens. We're just going to go for it. But it's just this idea of the way you started off your answer. Nobody knows what's going to happen. And there's a lot of money at stake for nobody knows. It's a crazy thing. And I get contracts. You pay for past production. But for somebody who is going into a negotiating period while they are hurt, this probably forces some of those thoughts into the forefront more than others.
I think him and Nes Belello, his agent, they're going to have to be very creative, right? And I think, that's why you have Nes come out right now and be like, yo, he's still going to be a two-way player.
Yeah, he has to say that.
Because what else would you say?
Right. That'd be malpractice if he didn't say that.
Exactly.
Sure.
And so I think you're going to find out who's risk-averse and who says, nah, we're good. But at the same time, the guy's still 300 batting average, 40 homers, 100 RBIs, 20 stolen bases, and one of the best hitters in baseball. We just got to find out when he's going to pitch again, because he will pitch again.